renewal of mind and reconfiguration of our thoughts that we are able to position ourselves to receive all the blessings that God has set aside for us. For it is not us who are waiting for the blessing, but rather the blessing that is waiting for us to be in the right frame of mind to receive it. I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah.
Hi family, and welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms, in your own narrative, because a new dispensation is here, family. A new world is here. And it requires your full attention, and it is exciting, it is uplifting, it is healing, it is restorative. It's absolutely amazing. And we acknowledge the spirit in the wind, the spirit of the ancestors, the spirit of the Most High, the spirit of the ancient ones, and all those who walk with us and helped us to cross over while we were giving you the messages, and even gave us the messages while we were dealing with our own chaos. But family, I've been getting a couple emails asking me to talk about the Mercury retrograde that just ended at the beginning of the year. And kind of people have been feeling this heaviness, especially crossing into the new year. So much was being released. And you know what? I don't even know what the date is today, but I wasn't able to record any new material until Mercury went direct. And it's not so much about Mercury going direct, but it's about kind of the energies which were, just around. And I thought I'd address it and answer some of your questions. Of course, you wanted to know what was this Mercury retrograde about, because it felt so like a death, like an ultimate separation, like a divorce. And that's exactly what it is. I think, family, we have just come through one of the major, or like just past one of the major crossroads in our journey to our destiny, in our journey to the new earth, especially if you're on this journey with me, where for so long we've been working to disentangle ourselves. When they say you had to be found worthy to live in heaven or to live in the new earth, it was about disentangling yourself from all these low vibrations, all these low narratives, and all this negativeness and darkness, family. Darkness being like low vibrational thoughts. We had to disentangle ourselves from that world, purify ourselves, so that we could even see that new earth coming in and, call out to it so that it manifested even more fully in our lives. And in the last, especially, around New Year's, family, there was a big pull. And I feel the celebration, because for me, I celebrated so hard, family. So I went so hard. And I felt like it was like a celebration of life. It was like a celebration, like I made it. I made it to the finish line against all odds, against all spells, hoodoo, voodoo, all kinds of magic, all kinds of death spells, all kinds of illness sent at me, against all odds, family. I made it across the finish line. And I feel a lot of us felt that. And then there was this dip in energy because it was that final release, family. That final disconnection. And for us, some of that final disconnection, because it was happening energetically. And now, what I've realized, the greatest training I've had in the last 2 years of spiritual warfare has been really to fight my battles in my mind and in my soul and with my emotions, and to stop wasting so much energy with a physical body that is inferior to my spiritual mind on trying to battle people on this level. And so you might have found, entering January was a bit bumpy. You may have locked heads, like I moved to a new location, family. On the last day of 2022, it was very symbolic, very spiritual. And then where I moved to, it's like I started logging heads with the caretaker that was already there. It's just like our energy just did not match, our spirits did not align. And, at first I got caught up in that because it was kind of intense. But later I realized this was just energetic and spiritual feedback that some things inside of me energetically were finally leaving. Those cords of negativity, those seeds, those roots of negativity had finally been pulled out and were like leaving my system, and it was showing up in these little sparks. Because you'll realize, when the demon, if I can call it that, really, but anyway, I'm not gonna get too into that. Or when a manipulated spirit is leaving your life, they'll kind of throw everything and little things, and they'll just try and create all kinds of chaos as they move out. But if you already rest assured spiritually and mentally that this has been handled, this is over, and you maintain your focus on that little thing, that energetic inconvenience, that irritation, that negative vibration that is like trying to bite at your feet will also fall away. And so this was a big one, family. A big release. It was like the closing out of that cycle of all those friends that you released, family, situations, places, other kinds of relationships that you had to say goodbye to, sometimes without explanation, just because the truth had been shared with you and it was not a truth that was necessary to share with them. A lot of us, family, we came online to the point, like, even when we tried to create new communities or new friends groups, we were literally reading people's minds and feeling people's emotions. And I mean, I learned pretty quickly, and I'm sure a lot of you learned pretty quickly, that anyone who was out of balance or put us out of balance had to go. No matter how pleasant they were, no matter how much fun it was to hang out with them, all of that was irrelevant. And it was all like, maintain your peace. I feel like that's what got me to the finish line, family. Maintaining my peace, irregardless of what has happened. And I just faced a really intense, challenge where I faced some serious disrespect, and I feel like I dealt with it in a way that I probably wouldn't have dealt with it before. No shouting, no screaming. But it wasn't even about how I dealt with a particular situation, but it's about how I felt afterwards. Before, such a situation would have bent me out of shape. It's just like when someone publicly humiliates you and, they're so used to doing it because they have money or because they have status or because they're this or because of that they get kind of shocked that you're even offended or that you call them out. And because of who you are now, you're a royal priesthood. You can't take that kind of nonsense from anyone. So handling that situation, and then more importantly, handling myself after that situation where I was not bent out of shape for a week because of that, for 2 weeks or for wherever, keeping it in my energetic field, but just releasing it, feeling the pain that day, feeling the hurt and the disappointment, and then releasing that and keeping it moving, family. So there are little tests that are going to come to see, have you learned to really put yourself first? Have you really let go of the people, the places, the situations that your spiritual team told you to let go of? Have you really made those, necessary changes at your core, or is it aesthetic? And it's all going to depend on how you deal with the little, I don't want to call them tests, but I guess we can call them tests, the little challenges and hiccups that come in your way, because you have overcome. You are an overcomer. You're never going to go to that level of darkness again. And now it's just like rebuilding yourself and rebuilding and not allowing any part of you to be broken down by anything, friends, foes, lovers, whatever. And being your greatest defender, your greatest cheerleader, and your voice of reason as well. We have just closed out such an intense book of life, pain, family. I was going to say painful book of life. For many of us, it was painful. For many of us, we didn't think we'd make it. Many of us have friends, have family that didn't make it, that took their lives because it became too intense. And that's why that book of life was called a war. It was a spiritual war from the day we were born. But now that war is over, because we went to the root and we destroyed it and dismantled it. And the root is in our minds and in our souls. And enough of us powerful beings were in agreement where that world is done forever. And now it's all about you getting to know yourself again, learning how to operate in a world that is sane and not insane, where you can create your greatest aspirations, the things that make you feel good, where you can experience the wonder of Mama Earth and this life that we're living, family. What an honor to have made it to the other side. In those times when you need to cry, allow yourself to cry, family. Allow yourself to heal at your own pace. You have healed enough to now start to create your new life. But there will still be those bouts of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that to me. And that moment of profound sorrow at just how humanity was treating ourselves, because a lot of people didn't know that everything they did to the world, they did to themselves. And at the end of it all, family, we came from one, and to one we shall return. Oneness. And many of us, well, let me not say us, but many really have to find themselves again in order to be part of the greater family of oneness. And that's where the focus is now, family. And you kind of have to disconnect yourself from Babylon and the Babylon media so that you don't get distracted by what they're saying, and actually use that energy to get to know this new you, to make incredible quantum leaps and strides, to do, to listen to the prompting of spirit of how you should make money, where you should be living, what relationships you should be encountering, or even just being open for that and being a magnet for those experiences to come into your life. But for me, what has been happening since, the new year is that final release, because, the new year is in the darkest winter, actually. And it has been a massive release, family. Well, here in Africa, anyway, the new year, we're in the deepest summer. But there was a release, because remember, this is a collective consciousness planet. So where the world is defined by the level of the collective consciousness. But now that's been broken, because we have beings here. Some call them the 144,000. No one knows their exact number, who have canceled out, just by their high vibrational presence, have canceled out millions, if not actually billions, of low vibrational beings who had been overtaken, who were being controlled. That system, that matrix has totally collapsed because of the vibration we've been able to bring in and hold and maintain. And everything changes from here. And you now, the responsibility of really believing and knowing that, not believing actually, family, but knowing that truly as a truth for yourself, that responsibility lies on you. But if you are in spiritual communion with your spiritual family, your spiritual team, your cosmic family, they will reveal to you in ways, they will give you so many confirmations, family, until you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a whole new earth. We have never been here before. Many of us don't remember living in this harmony, in this golden age. We're entering the gates of the golden age. Let me just put it like that. Let me know what you think in the comments below, family, and how you found the Mercury retrograde. I think it just ended like a couple of days ago. Until next time.
I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah. And I want it all. Beyond the riches of the world. To the promises of God for my life.